Assalamualaikum and hello again. Welcome back to Technology and Media Design course. We'll be talking about multimedia on web. How do you apply or use multimedia on web? Okay, let's have a look. So the internet is continually changing. We tend to have better and better connections these days. Increase the size in both quantity and quality. The speed is also improving. The 5G coming in, 6G and so forth. So better viewing on the net these days, right? So, with all this advance of technology, it becomes easy for any of us to gain any form of materials from the net, right? And also, there's an increase with issue of cyber security, and a lot of pop-ups coming out where we are concerned about data protections and all this. Therefore, a lot of argument research being done to measure, the safety of us as user on the web. Okay, and this is where you can see people talk about Internet of Things. How they connect things these days become more and more interesting. People manage to make buy things based on people reviews and so many things. Okay, so you manage to do so many things these days with multimedia in the website. Okay, so let's have a look. Even with the expansions of e-commerce, for example, you can see a lot of multi being used in there, and more industry entertainment to gain from. And if you look at the use of multimedia in web, the benefits are plenty. It helps increase interest of the user, and the cost of productions also is actually lower. Okay, and manage to allow for user to access more data, and we have more and more empower users. They are empowered, to make choices, to download certain materials that they want. There are more choices in a way. So when you talk about e-commerce, it involves, like I've said, using the web to serve clients and customers. Business these days are all online, especially with the COVID pandemic. It becomes even bigger. The business of e-commerce has become even bigger these days. So it benefits us as customer, of course. You can just buy or sell your products 24/7. Of course there would be costing a bit on delivery, but it's not as much as you having to rent a shop, and you're able to increase more profit online with the right strategy, of course. Okay, so these are some of the examples. And when you talk about e-commerce indirectly, you can see here there are so many multimedia applications going on there. Okay, with the use of graphics, audio, visual, video, right? There's a lot of implementation of multimedia in there. So if we talk about graphics on the web, normally we would use JPEG and GIF format, and also SPNG. All the images, the photo, the graphics that you saw on the web, they use a lot of these formats. And if you use GIF provides some transparency in your images, meaning if you download a photo from a website or from Google Image, if it is GIF format, well, you don't have to make any editing for the background. You can have the solid image by itself, because the background normally is in a transparency form. It's a bit different with JPEG. But JPEG, one thing for sure, the color quality is higher and better, but it uses lossy compression, which makes the size even smaller. Okay. And it is actually quite friendly for a lot of browser, and most web browsers support JPEG format. So if you want to upload your photo or your graphics example on a website, it's safer to use JPEG and the two other format that I've mentioned, because most web browser accept these formats. Same goes with PNG. Okay, smaller size PNG. If you compare of image you save as JPEG, you can try it out later in Photoshop, for example. Let's say image that you have edited, you save as JPEG, and then you save as PNG, and you save as GIF. And then you compare the size. You can see the comparison of sizes. Try and do that. Okay, animation on web. Let's talk about animation on the web. It's an excellent way to provide appealing, information on your website. There's animated text, GIF, shockwave, Java, virtual reality, lots of other animation types you can use to project on your website. Okay, if you want to animate text, this is the simplest, easy way to create. There's so many software, animated text software you can use out there. Perhaps in your first page of your website, maybe you can have a welcome animated text, running through just to welcome your viewer. And there's animated GIF as well, like the GIF images, it can be animated, right? And since GIF is a small file size, so your animation won't take much space in the website, right? GIF format as such, depending on what software you use. If you want to apply audio on the web, you need to take a few things into consideration. Well, audio file can be large depending on the quality. We've discussed this in the audio topic before. You have to take a lot of into consideration, like the mono, stereo, and so forth. Okay, have a look at those notes back. Well, you need to make certain choices. Okay, if you want to, let's say, upload a song that you took from CD, audio CD, so the size can be quite large, right? Like, let's say 2 megabyte. So you need to compress this, when you want to upload it on the web. Okay, let's say your blog may offer you a limit storage size, right? So you need to compress it, okay, before you upload it into your website example, or your blog example. Yeah, so these are the steps to pick out a suitable audio file, okay, that you want to work with. Do think about it. Okay, there's different types of audio files with MP3. The common ones are RA, MIDI, So again, you can also try out, get into audio software editing, editing software. Try to save in WAV, MP3, or so forth. You can see different sizes you'll gain. Therefore, try to decide which should be more suitable to be uploaded or to be included in your whole multimedia presentation on the web. Okay, it's just the problems of audio. Like I said just now, it can be distracting as well. Let's say you have a video on your first page, it can distract people sometimes, when they just log on and get into your website. All of a sudden they hear loud sound, they wouldn't like that. It becomes less user friendly. So you need to provide some control to the audience, like they can just switch it off or switch it on. You need to have that as well. So more tips on how to apply or integrate audio in the web. Do have a look at the notes I'm giving here. Make sure of the quality, the costs you need to also consider, What would be any other alternative methods? Streaming, can your audio be streamed online, and like I said just now, user control, provide control. Okay, let user control, okay, the audio functions. That would be quite user friendly for them. And these days we have TikTok, even more interesting. Once you upload your video, you can have a choice on choosing any songs that is current, because people like listening to current music. So you can also take that into consideration. Okay, video on web. There's two types, HTTP and RTSP. Okay, with HTTP, you can download your entire video into your computer. Okay, hard drive of the computer. While RTSP is all about streaming. For example, instead of downloading the movie that you want to watch, you can just watch it online. You can stream it online. Okay, or watch it there. You don't have to download and provide more burden to your computer. You can just stream the video. With the technology these days, with faster connection, so streaming is no longer an issue as it was before. So tips on applying or integrating video into the web. Consider about the color depth, the frame rate, the file size. We have discussed this in the video topic before. In order for you to produce a video which to be uploaded on the website, these are the things you really need to look at. The display size also matters. In YouTube these days, you're allowed to make choices on viewing certain video at higher rate or higher size. They can do that. So make sure to upload the highest quality as possible, if it's possible. If not, you may have to reduce the size depending on the platform where you want to upload the video again. Streaming technology, as I said just now, it's all about video file being played in real time. A lot of advantages you can get from that. Even nowadays, YouTube, you can just play YouTube streaming without having to download the video, okay, on YouTube. But again, it depends on your internet connections. Some areas, some places, they don't have such luxury, okay. Therefore, they prefer to just download the video and watch it later or use it later, and you're gonna have hard time watching the video that stops in the middle. You wouldn't like that to happen if your internet connection is not so good. So rather than stream the video, you can just download it, okay, and watch it later. So several factors contribute to the growth of streaming media on the web. Broadband, desktop processing capability these days are far better, compression technology, okay, and commercial interest. This all really influence the streaming technology. Okay, when multimedia on web, when you try to design multimedia and to put it on web, there are a few considerations to look at, okay. How many users will have the appropriate browser? This is important. Some user, they may only have, for example, Safari browser, okay, like those Mac users, right? So if your multimedia application is more applicable for Chrome or IE, you may have to let them know earlier. Maybe in front of your website you would say it is better to use a Chrome browser. Please use Chrome, for example, because or certain system, right, like UTM.my, they would encourage you to use Chrome instead of others, or instead of Safari. You might find that certain functions are not functioning well in Safari, therefore you have to use Chrome. Those kind of example, and plugin, sometimes certain website require user to have plugin to preview or play video. So take this into consideration. Is it necessary to offer plugin? Okay. Yeah, this comes, okay, another example, like if these days everybody has smartphone, right? So 8-bit resolution wouldn't be any problem anymore for most of us these days. But previously, it's hard to have a quality image to be displayed on our phone or computer, with less capabilities. So, but still, you have to consider this, um, and what is the connection and system speed of many of the user. This one also you have to take note. Let's say you are producing a website, a school website for a rural area. I don't think that you have to include a lot of images, videos into the website, because the internet connection perhaps is not so good there. Therefore, you might have to consider using lots of texts instead, and offer them to download um, uh, any videos that's important, you think, okay, instead of making it streaming. So all this point you need to look into. Thank you for your attention.